Today's secret is about how to save energy when using a rotovapor system. Already in a previous episode, we have talked about the eco mode, but today we would like to go into a little bit more detail. So how can we save energy? There's a few points we can do. First of all, we can use an interface. That saves some energy. I will go into the detailed numbers just later. The second thing we can do is we can use the small heating bath, which saves energy, plus we can add these little balls to prevent some of the energy getting lost into the air. Another method is to use the eco mode. The eco mode on the heating bath and the eco mode on the chiller. Let me show you the details of the effects when we do all of these steps. Let me explain the experiment in detail to you. First, we have distilled 3 samples. 3 samples consisting of water. Each distillation was 1 hour. In between, we just let the system running or we used it at eco mode. Now we started at 8 and worked until 5. And the results are all based on this experiment design. The first impact we looked at was the impact of the interface and speed control onto the energy consumption. Now we ran the pump for 3 hours without speed control and then 3 hours during the distillation with speed control. We could save 300 watt-hours during this time, which means an energy reduction of about 80% by just using the interface. So let's have a look at the effect of energy savings possible in the heating bath. The first one is we could save 300 watt-hours of energy by using these balls. The second one is we can save about 500 watt-hours by going from the big to the small heating bath. Now we can save about 100 to 200 watt-hours by activating eco mode with a difference of 10 degrees after 5 minutes. So overall the best saving we have is if we change from the big heating bath to the small heating bath with the balls and eco mode. And that overall equals about 700 watt-hours, which then makes up to 34% of energy savings. There is some additional benefits of these balls. First, you don't need as much water because the water doesn't evaporate from the surface as fast. You have less lime and less dust in the bath. You need therefore to do less cleaning. And when the evaporating flask goes in, there is less splashing, and that means less overflow over the heating bath. The biggest potential of saving energy is with the recirculating chiller. When we activate the eco mode within these 3 hours of distillation, then we can save about 2,500 watt-hours, which equals 2.5 kilowatt-hours of energy, and that sums up of 50% energy savings when activating the eco mode. So in summary, there is huge potential to save energy with the rotovapor according to our experiment. You can save up to 3.3 kilowatt-hours of power, which equals about 45% of energy saving, by just doing a few simple things. 1. Switch to the small heating bath, add these balls, use an interface, and set the whole system, including bath and chiller, to eco mode of at least 10 degrees difference.